Hello there, everybody. I'm Mel Allen, and this is Baseball Collection.
Yo and hello everybody, Mike here, Baseball Collector. It's Monday and that means a little bit of mail. I've got two things to show off. I got a very cool Hall of Famer autograph and I got a Hall of Famer 1 of 1 to show off that I got in the mail today, but that's not really what I want to do this video on. I'm going to show my mail just to get it done so I can get it put away. But, I've been doing this a long time, as many of you have. A lot of us have been around this hobby for a long time. And I don't know why, but I'm constantly amazed at this hobby and certain things that just surprise me. And the last week for me in this hobby has been very, very interesting. I've told a bunch of stories privately to some guys of some things that I've been able to get to see this last week. And I'm going to try to just take my time telling this story or just kind of what's been going on. I don't want to leave anything out, but it's been pretty cool. So last week I had a guy, friend of mine, call me and say, "Hey Mike, I heard about this guy's collection. You need to come see it. I've heard it's pretty epic." And we've all heard that before, and it ends up being, a vending case of 1989 Topps or something, and turns out to really be nothing. So I said, okay, sure, why not? We ended up going late last week to do that and check it out. I can't give a whole lot of details. Honestly, I've been asked by the owner to be relatively vague in what I describe. But let me just tell you, I walked in and it was, first of all, it was in a warehouse. So the size of the whole thing was unbelievable. I mean, I just was totally overwhelmed. At some point, I'll be able to make some of this public and kind of talk about it a little bit more. But for now, I can't. They asked me not to. So I don't want to lose my privileges to this collection because I'm still buying stuff from it. And I just want to honor their request for that. But I guess where I'm going with this is, so I went there through my friend who knew the guy kind of thing. And I end up at this place and I meet a couple of other guys there that are doing the same thing I am and buying things from this collection. And these are guys that I know around Fort Worth. Believe it or not, Fort Worth is like the biggest little town you've ever known. I didn't know them personally. I knew who they were because these aren't guys that you don't know who they are in this town. And I didn't know they collected. And so they're buying stuff and showing stuff that they're getting from this massive collection. And it was impressive. And, I'm the young guy. Like, these guys are all older gentlemen. I'm the young guy, and they're asking me about my collection, and I'm talking to them about it, and they're telling me. And it was just fun to hear about their stuff, fun to hear what they do. They were they acted like they were impressed with what I know about the hobby and what I have in my collection, which was very humbling and cool. And they were like, "Yeah, we want to come see your stuff." I'm like, "Dude, I want to see your stuff." So we exchanged information. And here's my point to this. No, I better tell you the rest of the story first. Because then, through that, I met another guy who knew the same guy. And I went and talked with him this morning. And talked to him about his collection. And it's unreal. Entire 52 Topps graded sets. 53 Topps graded set complete, and then, multiple other 52 Topps sets in this guy's collection complete, and just the stuff he was telling me that he has. And I guess we get in a little bubble, I think. And no matter where you are, this might be the case for you in your city. the reason I got onto YouTube long ago was so that I could try to meet some like-minded people. I didn't know anybody around that had the same interests as me, that liked sports cards and autographs and all that kind of stuff, and loved baseball the way I loved it, and the history of the game and everything. And man, was I naive, blissfully ignorant, whatever you want to say. So I get on YouTube, I start meeting all these people from all over the country, all over the world, really. Shout out to Mick in Australia. So the YouTube community is this much of the hobby that's like gigantic. So we in this community that are watching this are tiny fraction of the people that are in this hobby. And I have learned about, through this experience over the last week, I don't know, 6 or 8 giant collections that are literally in my backyard, that are right here, that I was completely oblivious of, unaware of, because guys like that, we think it's no big deal to show your cards off on YouTube, but there's a risk to doing that, right? I mean, you're putting your stuff out there, you're putting yourself out there, I'm going to use this word, but you're exposing yourself to the world. Here I am, and there are so many guys out there that just don't want to do that they're not comfortable doing that, and that's probably a huge part of why the YouTube community is relatively small relative to the entire hobby. And so it's this fascinating thing that I have discovered over the last week, how many absolutely jaw-dropping, mind-blowing collections are literally around the corner from me. And so, I mean, I'm just enjoying the heck out of it, sifting through this giant, massive collection, figuring out stuff that I want. I already have some of it here. I'm not going to show it off yet until I get approval from the family to do that, because I've got more stuff that I want to get, and I kind of want to show it all off as one big, massive haul of things that I'm getting. And so I guess there's so much more out there. And I guess you kind of see that when you go to the National, you talk to people and you're like, do you do videos? No, but I watch your stuff. I get that a lot at the National. Or, I've seen some of your videos. I like to keep my stuff private or whatever. I get it. I'm not like, I like to share it, I guess. And I didn't know any of these people before. Now I have people that can drive over and share it with me. And that I can go see their stuff and be absolutely blown away. I have so many stories that I want to tell you, but I'm trying to respect these people's privacy and not go into too much detail about who they are. And it's this fine line, because I'm kind of, we're all putting ourselves out there on YouTube, and I'm just used to it, I guess, now. I just don't even really think too much about it. It is what it is. You can find me already. I'm out there. So most of these guys don't want to be. They're like, dude, I've got lots and lots of money tied up into this stuff, and I do not want to be public. Now, I respect that. I totally respect that and totally get that. I don't know. I'm just out there. So it is what it is. So there's just, I guess the kind of amazement to me is how little we are in terms of the fraction of the hobby to how big the hobby is. And I'm sure, absolutely 100% positive, that it is like that in most major cities, metropolitan areas, small towns across America. There are people that you don't even know that have stuff that would just blow you away. And I like being blown away. I was like a kid in Disneyland last week when I got to see this collection, and hearing about the other collections and things that I'm going to get to do over the next few weeks as I get to go actually see these other collections too. Because I just love looking at stuff. I don't know about you guys. I just love looking at cards and talking stories and how'd you get this and where'd that come from. And I mean, I can't wait to be able to get the clearance to tell you guys even more details about all of this stuff. It is, I have a bunch of pictures. They wouldn't let me take video, but they did let me take a bunch of pictures, and when I go back I will take even more, because they said take all the pictures you want. we'll let you know when you can talk about it in greater detail. But the amazement, just be ready. You never know when you're going to get an introduction to somebody that's close by that you can share this passion with about this hobby, because it's so much fun to share it and talk to people. I talked to this guy today. I sat in his office for over an hour and we just talked cards, literally. So much fun. And I could just walk there. I literally just walked to his office. So it was just so cool from my office. So that was a fun morning. Anyway, that is just the part of this hobby that continues to amaze me. I continue to find new people. I continue to discover more types of collections and uniqueness in this hobby and why people do what they do and how they tick and how they collect. And it's very, very special and very, very cool. So enough about that. I just had to share that because it's cool. 2 cards, 1 autograph, 1 one of one. Let me turn the camera around. I'll show them to you. Hang on 1 second. So here we go. 2 things to show off, like I said, that came in the mail today. The first one here is this beautiful Diamond Kings Johnny Bench autograph. This is my first Diamond Kings Johnny Bench. His stuff is really pretty expensive. His autographs are not cheap, so I was thrilled to death to get them. To get this one, I should say. And I used my eBay bucks pretty much entirely to buy this for this quarter, so it made it like $6 or something. So I was just wanting to add something cool that I wouldn't normally pay the price that was there. And now with tax and all that kind of stuff, it makes me really careful on the prices that I'm paying for things, because it's just more. You just have to take that into account. Everything's just more expensive when you add in 8 3/4 sales tax. So you just have to keep that in mind. But this is just a gorgeous card. I love the way Johnny Bench's signature is. One of the greatest catchers of all time. A lot of people think he's the greatest. He's certainly in the top 3, maybe top 5. We'll see. Some people think I'm crazy, but that's just my opinion. He had an amazing career, no doubt. Absolute great player, legendary player. So love having that. And then the second thing I got today is a 1 of 1. So let me make this a little bit different angle. There you go. You'll be able to see it a little bit better. I can scoot up on it. So this is from 2019 National Treasures. And this is a printing plate patch card. I love how National Treasures does this, where they put in the actual material, a nice patch on the 1 of 1s. This is my 299th 1 of 1. So I need 1 more to get to 300 1 of 1s in my collection. I think this is number 52 for my Ivan Rodriguez 1 of 1s. So I have quite a few of those. This one's just beautiful. I love it. It looks like it's the black printing plate from a materials set. It's got the nice, 5 colors. You got the jersey color, which is gray at the bottom down there. You got the black on the left, white, red, and blue. So tons of color, really cool deal. And always looking to add 1 of 1s where I can. That's a whole collection of part of my collection that I've never even really shown. I've hinted around at it a little bit and maybe shown parts of it on other videos, but certain guys that have come over and seen my collection from YouTube have seen all the 1 of 1s, and they just can't. I mean, I have literally boxes of 1 of 1s. So love it. Happy to add it to my collection. There you go, man. So as things unfold over the next couple of weeks with the other stuff, hopefully I can reveal more details and tell you guys more about it. For now, though, that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for sticking with this video. If you've gone this far, I appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon. Keep collecting.